Today on Cryptic Mass Guitar, we have the Inkbird IHC-200 Humidity Controller. Why I bought this, why maybe you should have this, and how to program it. So the reason I purchased this unit is so I can control the humidity in my guitar room. I've had much trouble trying to get everything kind of balanced, especially when it gets hot at night or cold at night or during the day when I'm working. There can be some major fluctuations in humidity in my home. Now, I'm sure most of you guys out there that think that you have your humidity under control, you're probably saying, well, I have a humidistat. I have a heat pump that tells me that I'm good. I don't need to change anything. Everything is under control in my house. You're wrong. So now we're fluctuating between 39% and 40%. Much different than what we have set on our wall and what our regulated temperature is through a heat pump or through our humidistat. Looking at this right here, this is 10% difference. Now, does that make a big difference on what's going to happen with your guitar? Absolutely. In these charts here, on the left, we have our acoustic chart that tells you all the different effects that can happen with your acoustic depending on the humidity. And on the right, we have our electric guitar facts here. Now, this, to picture it so you guys can understand what I'm talking about, we have corroded hardware. We have pickups that are getting rusted out. We have fret spout. We have guitar glue coming undone. We have splits in the wood. We have the bridge coming off. The guitar shrinking or expanding. These are major things that are happening to your instrument, and if you love your instrument and you paid enough money for your instrument, you want to take care of it so it has the same sound of what it sounded like when you bought it. You do not want to be this guy. So without further ado, let's get into how we program this system. This system, what it does in the plain view is it's going to allow me to plug in a dehumidifier and a humidifier and set exactly what I want, plug it in, and it just does the work for me. So here we go. The IHC-200 is an easy-to-use, safe, and reliable dual relay output humidity controller. It's plug-and-play designed, dual LED screens enabling more humanized. IHC-200 can control any 100 to 265 volt humidifier, dehumidifier, or fan. Main features: switches the modes between humidification and dehumidification automatically. Control humidity by setting value and differential value. Calibrate the humidity value. Delay protection for control output. Query current humidity. Alarm when humidity exceeds high-low humidity setting value. Alarm when sensor error or humidity exceeds limit. Looking at our two displays here, we have our PV process value on the top. This is going to allow us to read the humidity value that's actually in the room. And below that is the SV setting value. This is the desired setting of humidity that you want for your room. Moving down now, we have two different illumination lights. We have the humidification indicator lamp on our left and our dehumidification indicator lamp on our right. Looking down now, we have the set key. Press set key for 3 seconds to enter menu for function setting. During the setting process, press set key for 3 seconds to quit and save setting changes. Decrease key. Under running mode, press decrease key to inquiry the dehumidification differential value. Under setting mode, press decrease key to decrease the value. Increase key. Under running mode, press increase key to inquiry the humidification differential value. Press increase key to increase value. Setting parameters. When the controller is working normally, press and hold the set button to set the parameters. The PV screen will display the first menu code HS, and SV screen will display the setting value. Menu codes. HS, humidity set value. This is going to allow you to set a range between 5 and 99, 50 being the default percentage of relative humidity. HD, humidification differential value. The setting range for this setting is 1 to 20, default being 5% relative humidity. This is going to allow you to give a 5% buffer before the dehumidifier kicks in. DD, dehumidification differential value, can be set between 1 and 20. Default is 5% relative humidity. This does the exact same thing as a humidification differential value, but the opposite. AH, alarm high humidity set value. This can be set between 50 and 99. 99 being the default percentage of relative humidity. Set this alarm to when you want to be alerted that the humidity in your room has gone up too high. AL, alarm low humidity set value, between 0 and 50. Default 0% relative humidity. Just like setting the high alarm, the low alarm does the exact opposite. PT, delay protection value, can be set in a range of 0 to 10, default being 1, which is 1 minute. This is particularly used if you're using a humidifier or dehumidifier that contains a compressor. CA, humidity calibration. This setting is to be used when trying to calibrate your unit if need be. Once you've properly selected all your settings, hold down the set button for 3 seconds to save. If you do not, it will not save and you will have to start all over again. Note, the alarm sound sounds like this. Work 1 socket. This is for the humidification device socket that we plug in our humidifier from. Work 2 socket. This is dehumidification device socket for the dehumidifier. Sensor. This is what reads the actual humidity in the room. As best as you can, put it central in your room away from the humidifier, as you may not get a proper reading if it's too close. So now I want to kind of get into why this product to me is worth its weight in gold and why it's so important to me. Last year in Nova Scotia, we had a wildfire that actually went through my neighborhood, started in my neighborhood. The unfortunate facts was many homes burnt down. Fortunate enough, they were able to save my home. In the process, all my guitars pretty much were unusable once I was able to get back into my house after the full 18 days of being evacuated. My guitars were sweating. There was so much humidity in the house and so much heat. We had a huge heat wave at the time, which did not help with the wildfires. But every one of my guitars, except for one, was completely out of whack. Strings were dead on the fretboard, like just laying against it like they wanted to go through the fretboard. The necks were all out of whack. Frets were popping out like you could cut yourself on the fretboard. It was that bad. Most of my guitars were completely unusable. And then I decided to get a dehumidifier and try to get my guitars back with many repairs and everything else. I was able to get my guitars back to a playability, and then I got into, okay, well, what else is going wrong here? Then started to get into humidity, and I bought the thing to read my humidity, this hygrometer. This hygrometer totally changed my views on how my house is. I thought that with the thermostat and being able to set the relative humidity in my house, that I would be able to make sure that my guitars were fine. It's not enough. 100% it's not enough. Right now it's saying it's 39% still in my house, even though it's set at 50, and my house is set at 20 for 20 Celsius for the temperature. This is going to give you a true reading of your room. 10% and more than 10% is not good. You do not want that much fluctuation when it comes to humidity in your instruments, especially with acoustic guitars. Now, you may have not had issues in the past with your guitars and humidity. That's great. But for me, this was a big eye-opener, and I don't feel like bringing my guitars every year or every couple months to get my guitars sorted out because my frets and everything else, when I can mitigate something with $60 to make sure that never happens again. I had a dehumidifier, I had a humidifier. The fact that I can plug both of these into the unit and it will automatically turn off and on the dehumidifier or the humidifier to make sure that everything's regulated, absolutely worth its weight in gold. Now, another part of this, many of you might be asking, what type of humidifier, what type of dehumidifier should I buy? I'm going to refer you to this fella right here. He has an excellent channel, but an excellent video on the right humidifier and right dehumidifier for the job, especially when it comes to your instrument. So make sure you definitely check out his video after this, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. He's got some excellent luthier content that you do not want to miss. So I hope I've helped you distinguish if this product is right for you or not. Until next time, I'm Kevin of Cryptic Mass Guitar. Take care.